Hey there everyone, Steve Gonzer, physical therapist with Run Smart Online, and over the last 10 years I've been helping runners do amazing things in their training and running. I want to share something, got an email here that I want to talk to you about because this has happened to me. It's happened to a lot of you, which is you're running in the shoe that you finally found that works really well. It's comfortable, it's not getting you hurt, you love this shoe, and then all of a sudden the shoe company comes along and they change the shoe. I'm going to make sure I'm level here. It's going to bother my minor OCD if I'm not. And they change the shoe for you. So they maybe you're running in a Brooks, and then the next year you get the same Brooks, but they made some modifications to it, and you put the shoe on, and the shoe just hurts. Now, traditionally, what I see with this is that someone, when they try to either change their shoes or the shoe company changes the way that they make the shoe that doesn't agree with you, is the issues, the pain and the discomfort is typically on the top of the foot, underneath the foot, really weird, usually both legs, or something comes on quickly. So this is the email I got. I'm going to read this email towards you. And if you're interested in getting more information about this, other training pieces to train smarter, go to the link above and you can learn more about this stuff. But so I got this email from someone who I've worked with in the past. Let's see, I'm hoping you can weigh in the issue for me before it becomes an injury. So she's pre-injury. I've been running in the Brooks Launch and Ghost for 2 years since you changed my shoes specs after my last injury. Both shoes have been great up until the new models came out, and now not so much. So this is kind of what we just talked about. I can no longer find the old version of the shoe, so this is pretty typical, right? So someone goes and they love a shoe, they buy out like Shoe Warehouse or something like that, a Running Warehouse. But she can no longer find the old version of the shoe, and she's a bit stuck. She's training for a marathon, and her mileage is creeping up. Both shoes are causing some arch discomfort, not pain in one foot, and blistering on both feet. So that's the other thing, the blistering or arch pain, top of the foot pain, the tongue doesn't seem right, all indications that the shoe is not agreeing with you. Should I consider, so she's at this point where her shoes aren't agreeing with her. The Brooks changed, she doesn't like them, she can't find the old version. Should I consider a possible switch to a different Brooks shoe or even maybe a different brand? So what do you do? What did I tell this runner to do? Is essentially I said is a couple of things. This is pretty common, which I just mentioned. The next thing I told her was to take, this sounds like a shoe issue, so what I would recommend to you is take the old shoe, and this is what I usually do. I don't have a running shoe on right now because it's super wet out. I have boots on. But you would take the shoe and you would just kind of wring the shoe back and forth. And I'm not brand loyal in shoes unless someone comes along and sponsors us. Then I'll maybe be brand loyal. I wear Nike. She's wearing a Brooks. So I'm not brand loyal. What I am is category loyal. So there's a couple main categories of shoes. You're like super minimalist, you have neutral, you have stability shoes, and motion control. So there's really like 4 main categories of shoes. So when I say I'm not brand loyal, I'm category loyal. It means if you're in a Brooks that's a neutral shoe, I don't really care if you go to a Nike that's a neutral shoe, but you should find that classification. What you wouldn't want to do is be in something like a Nike Pegasus, which is a little bit more neutral, and then decide to go to like a max control shoe in Brooks. Too big of a jump. So you want to keep the jumps pretty consistent. So if you're going to change your shoes, the key thing is staying in that category. But here's the other thing. I'm gonna have to move the camera around a little bit. Let's see how this works. So, no way anyone's seeing that. I'm gonna get really close here. Let's see if this will work. So this might just not work at all, and I'm gonna have to talk you through it. But let's just say that you're in shoe 1. Shoe 1 is here, and when you're going to change, or as you run in shoe 1. This is time, this is flexibility. Those are probably gonna be reversed because Facebook hates front cameras, but time and flexibility. As time goes on, your shoe gets more flexible. The nice thing about this is it's super gradual, right? This happens over the course of maybe 300 miles. So as you get, slowly your shoe breaks down, your body tends to be okay with that. And because it's a gradual process, it'll be okay. So what happens is you change your shoes, and let's say it's the same exact shoe as this. Your body's used to a flexibility way up here, and now you're asking that same shoe. There's too big of a gap to bridge, and this causes a lot of issues. So I talk about this quite a bit. But what you want to do is, let's say this shoe is the one that you like. Now they change that shoe. So now the shoe maybe is like something like, I don't know, up here or just off the left field. And you just can't figure out, how to make this new shoe work because it's not the same one. So what I recommend anyone do is they take their shoe, they take it to the shoe store and they say, okay, this is what I'm looking for. You want to grab the front and back of it. Ooh. I'll just stand like this. You want to grab the front and back and you want to squish it from front to back. You want to twist it and turn it. And that's what you're going to be really gauging the shoe change on, is can you find something that feels similar and it's in the same category. So we want to make sure that the next shoe can be something similar where you don't have to do this. Now, I wish I had an eraser. 1 second. So if you're going to transition your shoes, hopefully this makes sense, that the shoe breaks down over time. You have to give yourself some time, and you want to find something that's pretty similar. Now, I always break it into, this is going to suck because the front camera hates this. So I break it into 4 weeks. Let me see if I can do this. Hang with me. Hopefully my battery doesn't die on my phone. You can see my reflection there. A little tripod, so let's see. So over the course, I don't even know if I'm in the frame, but over the course of 4 weeks, this is how you're going to transition into a new pair of shoes. Because if you don't do it, you're going to end up having major issues and you're going to be setting yourself for injury. So just to recap, you have an injury, or you're changing your shoes, you can't find the same shoe, nothing feels comfortable. You're going to make the change. You're going to make sure that you're in the same category, and then you're going to follow this 4-week piece here. So what it's going to look like, this is % miles run. So over the course of 4 weeks, I'd recommend transitioning. And again, if you're looking for more information on how to train smarter and do things like this, and also get proven plans for training plans and strength workouts, go to the link above. This is something very specific to shoes. So if you're going to put on your new shoe, the first week you're going to have only 25% of your mileage run in that new shoe. Now this might mean that you're going to swap runs, or you're going to actually switch out halfway. If you're in Buffalo and we're having snow and windstorms and stuff and you're running inside, just bring your other shoes with you and transition. So halfway through a run or a quarter way through the run, you would just swap out your shoes. Week 2, you're going to go to 50% of your mileage. Hopefully this shows up okay. Not too bad. Week 3 is 75% of your mileage is going to be in your new shoe, and week 4 is 100% of your mileage. So it is a 4-week transition. I can't tell you how many times, I'm just going to reverse this camera. I can't tell you how many times someone goes and they get a new pair of shoes and they just jump into them and they end up getting trashed from it and they end up losing 2 or 3 weeks. You have to stay in the same category. You have to have a 4-week lead time. I know you probably don't want to do that. So if you have a race coming up, think about that. I have, my marathon's in 6 weeks. I probably should, and these shoes aren't going to make it. The shoes on your feet are not going to make it. They're falling apart. They don't feel comfortable. So what you want to do then is you want to start planning for that, start making your transition so that you could either prolong the life of the shoe that you're currently in, or you can have a new shoe that's going to be prepared to run the distance that you need. So think about that if you have a race coming up. Hopefully this doesn't happen, but I can tell you, actually I was like the shoe executioner for a while. When I was running probably a couple years ago, every shoe I had, I'd ran in successfully for like 1 or 2 years, and then the next year they would discontinue it. And this happened like 2 or 3 years in a row. And then finally, I just switched over to the Nike Pegasus, which is like their flagship shoe. So it's going nowhere. At least I'm hopefully not. So it's just something to think about as you're transitioning your shoes, as you're looking ahead. How much life do you have in your shoes coming up, and then making sure. This is exactly what I told this prior patient and prior runner who uses our training online. Is that go to the shoe store. Okay, take your old shoes with you. Find something that's similar. Same category. Doesn't have to be the same brand. Then go into this 4-week transition spot and you'll be fine. Now, if you continue to bash on things like, well, I run in this Brooks Ghost, and I've always run in the Brooks Ghost, and I'm not switching, and the shoe doesn't agree with your foot, you're almost likely to get hurt. So just be careful with that. Again, if you're looking for more awesome training tips and things that you can do to improve your running for speed, for injury, to prevent injuries and get fewer injuries, go to the link above and check out all of my training for only $1, including training plans and strength workouts that can take your running to the next level. Hope all is well, and I will talk to you guys later. Have a great finish to your weekend. Bye.